Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. What's the message today, my love? We're out here on this beautiful hike here on Pinnacle Peak.
Yes, today we are going to talk about 3 things that lead to living your best life.
3 things to living your best life. I think everybody would agree with that. They'd like to be living their best life. At least I hope that's the case.
Exactly.
So
the first topic is great health. In order to live your best life, you obviously want to feel as good as you possibly can.
Yes.
Physically, because as far as I know, unless anybody knows different, and if you do, put it down below and let me know, because you're going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. But we only have one body, each of us, right? So you want to make sure that you take care of this vessel that we call our body. And you want to make sure that you do everything that you can to make it as well as possible. So eating the right foods, eating the right amount of foods.
That's key. That's what I've learned, eating the right amount.
Right. And drinking a lot of water, hydrating. Our bodies are actually mostly water to begin with. So when we get dehydrated, it can be very dangerous, and people go into the hospital for dehydration. So it's just really, really important to keep your body hydrated. And water, of course, is the best source of hydration. There are some other things. I'm a big fan of coconut water, especially when I'm doing activities, because it has natural electrolytes, and the sugars that are in there, they're all natural sugars. There's nothing added to it. So water, coconut water are your best bets.
And then sleep. Sleep is really important. People forget this.
Crucial.
I mean, I think for years growing up, I just thought I'd say, I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I think the same thing.
Like all hardcore, like we don't need
Right.
sleep. But you need sleep. I mean, the best thing you can do is get a great night's sleep. And by the way, it's different for everybody. I'm trying to figure out exactly how much I need, but I like to get to bed early and get up early every day. God bless you. Get your sleep to charge those batteries up, right? And that's the best way. As you're sneezing, there's so many people are sick around us. We've been in a lot of airports and stuff, and if you get your rest and eat the right foods, you can keep your immune system up, right?
Exactly. And there are a lot of herbs and supplements as well that you can take to keep your immune system at peak performance, especially during this cold and flu time. Right. Jeffrey and I are really big with the Kick-Ass Immune. It's like a spray drop thing. And there's some other homeopathic things that you can do during this time to help. And the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is to wash your hands thoroughly and often with warm, soapy water during this cold and flu season.
Yes.
Because that's one of the biggest ways to ward off the germs that are coming.
That's such an easy one. It's huge.
It is an easy one. Now, there's not a lot you can do if you're in an airport and people are just coughing out into the air. So for those of you who are not feeling great, when you are coughing, that's the way to do it. You don't want to cough in your own hand, because you don't want to spread the germs elsewhere in yourself or anyone else. So you're supposed to cough in your...
Oh, really?
Yes, in your elbow.
Interesting.
And
well, what's the next? You said 3 things, so that's number 1. Great health.
Great health. And well, I want to finish on great health, because it's not just the body. That's key, but it's also your mental health as well. And that is equally as important. So if you've got this great healthy body, but you're either, depressed or anxious, then you're not going to be able to do the things that you want to do, even though your body might be healthy. And poor mental status can actually affect the health of your body. You can actually bring on diseases, cancers, tumors, all sorts of really bad things if your mental state is not in a positive way.
Well, you can manifest it, just and unbeknownst to you, you can pull in those negative things. Those negative thoughts.
We have seen it.
I've seen it. I just saw it recently.
You did firsthand. We've seen it. So after you're taking care of your body, you also at the same time simultaneously want to take care of your mental well-being for Jeffrey and I, that starts with gratitude. Gratitude is the very first. Actually, that's in the next topic. We got to start over. Can you cut it?
No.
All right, so we're going to keep going. Okay, so that doesn't start with gratitude. That's going to be in the second thing.
Well, and to your defense, the thing is about great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love. All these things blend together, right?
They
blend.
We had that very conversation.
Body and mind, yeah. So, great health, and then
right. So
abundant happiness is what we're on to, right?
In great health, so your mental status is meditation, is what we discussed. That is so important to meditate and make sure that you're doing whatever you can to eliminate the stress, anything that's weighing on you. We had such a beautiful meditation today. It was all about letting go of the anchors that weigh you down.
That was a good one, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was all about being on a beach of your choice and walking through the beach, but you've got a big rope around your waist with an anchor that you're walking through the sand and dragging this anchor, and then there in the sand is this tool, so that you, with your name on it, and it has your name, so that it symbolically is like you can release this stress. It's up to you.
And the anchor was all of your things in the past that you were worried about, things maybe that have happened that you weren't proud of, and it's all stuff you're worried about that's you shouldn't have to worry about.
Exactly. And that was great for me this morning, because there's we have a big event coming up this month that I put on single-handedly, and it is a huge event, and it takes a lot of my brain power, and I know I've got things that I have to do for that, and I'm really trying to cherish this time that we have here, and we've got a couple of things going on while we're here in Arizona, and then I'll hit that as soon as we get home. But it was like the anchor on me, and I released it saying, is it going to affect my life if I don't do that until Thursday or Friday? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. No.
Right?
You're right.
And so when I released it, I was like, oh my gosh, it was so nice. I'm not even going to deal with those emails or any of that information until after the events that we have going on already scheduled.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff going on here. But so anyway, so we're on great health. Abundant happiness is we want to be grateful. You start your day just being grateful for everything that you have. I mean, that's a great way to be happy in life, is to first be happy with what you have and just the basic things. You wake up and you're breathing in this beautiful air. The sun is up. You get that first cup of coffee. Hopefully you're waking up next to a loved one, or maybe it's your dog or cat, or just be grateful for the roof over your head, whatever it is, just the basic things, right?
Absolutely. Every single thing you should be grateful for, because there are people that live in such poverty and have absolutely nothing, and most of us, certainly anybody who's watching YouTube, has more than enough. And you've got to appreciate everything, all of the gifts, like you said, the smallest gifts, the fact that you've got a toothbrush to go brush your teeth when you get out of bed, that you can take care of your teeth, that you've got clean water to drink, that you have a roof over your head and clothes to put on, that your heart is beating on its own.
It worked through the night. Yeah, when you mentioned poverty, even people that are waking up in a third world country, the birds are still chirping outside the window, and they still had their heart work through the night. I mean, all this stuff is amazing, right?
Well, I believe that we can probably learn our most grateful attitude from people who are living in poverty, because they are extremely grateful for the very basics of life. Like you said, that they woke up and that they're getting to see the sun shine again. And we forget about that.
Yeah, well, there's a happiness study. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up. It's a Harvard study. I think it's going on for like over 70 years. And they studied, young guys going to school at Harvard in college, way back when, like started 70 years ago. And then some kids in Boston of the same age that didn't get to go to college, and they were out on the street and had to work their way, doing whatever they were going to do, some kind of a trade or something. But they've been studying them all through life, and happiness had nothing to do with the amount of money that they had. I mean,
Zero.
that really wasn't a surprise, but look that study up. You'll find that the happiness factor has a lot to do with relationships, and how you interact with your family and your social environments, and had really nothing to do whether you were a CEO of a software company or if you were a plumber. The happiness factor depended on other things in life, the basics that people were thankful for.
Absolutely. And, thankfully there are different professions for people with different talents and different interests.
Right.
Some people like to tinker with things and other people like to build things. Everyone should follow their own,
Right.
passion when it comes to all of that, and be grateful for every single thing.
Yeah.
So number 1, great health. Number 2, abundant happiness. And that leaves us to number 3, which is
Outrageous love.
Outrageous love. And that is something Jeffrey and I are so passionate about. If you've watched any of our other videos, we talk about the fact that, we don't want to settle for ordinary love. We want extraordinary, outrageous love. And that's what we have. And I feel so incredibly blessed. We'll be celebrating 29 years this month now. Oh my gosh,
it's right around the corner.
Yeah,
right
2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be celebrating 29 years of marriage together. And it's not just 29 years of being married. It's 29 years of really amazing love. And every year we're together, is more of an adventure, and we grow together. We have changed so much over the past several years on this spiritual journey, right?
Yeah. So, but that's where we feel very blessed. But, to start off, the foundational piece for everyone out there is to love yourself first,
love yourself first.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. That is the first and foremost important thing. And, we as a society, we're so hard on ourselves. So cut yourself a break. Get out of bed, look in the mirror, give yourself a woo! I'm so awesome. And don't criticize anything about your physicality.
Be impeccable with your words.
I love that.
I always love. Yeah, I always love you.
that.
Catch yourself saying something like, "Oh man, I don't even like to say these things because it's not even in my vocabulary." But this is getting gray, or this is getting wrinkled, or I need to work on this and tone my stomach, or whatever the heck it is. It's like, we all do it, but it's not a good idea.
No, it's not a good idea. So every now and again, Jeffrey and I like to do the no criticism challenge, where you're not allowed to say anything negative about yourself at all for 24 hours.
Or anybody else.
Or anybody else. And I have to say, it's much harder to not say something negative about yourself than it is to not say anything negative about other people. I mean, we rarely say anything bad about either, but almost, never about other people. I think we're really understanding in that everyone's different and all that. But yes, this self-love is so mission critical. Give yourself a hug. Be so grateful that you've got a body that works, a heart that beats, a breath that works on its own, a mouth to eat your food, right?
Yeah, whatever you'd love to do. If it's like climbing up this mountain, you got 2 legs that work, or if it's, reading books and you want to absorb knowledge, whatever it is, there's something that you do that you love doing. Just be grateful there and love yourself first. And once you have that full overflowing love for yourself, you're able to pour that on to others, and give it to someone else. I mean, you can't give anything to anyone else if you don't already have it. If you want to give to a charity, if you want to give $100 away, you got to have $100 in the bank to take out to hand to a charity. If you want to love somebody else, you've got to make sure you've got a bunch of love yourself to pass that on. Exactly. If you've got to be grateful for all the things you have in order to help people understand how they can be grateful for what they have. I mean, it all works. It's a chain. It's like a domino effect, right?
Absolutely. So the 3 secrets to living your best life: great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love. And that also just so happens to be the name of the book that Jeffrey and I are writing. And we were inspired to write the book because we feel that We are so incredibly blessed, and it's almost as if something larger definitely than us, but something out in the universe is giving us this gift because we were meant to share some of the secrets and the tidbits that we've been so fortunate to experience. And that's why we're writing the book, Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. And that is exactly what we are wishing you today. We wish you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from Pinnacle Peak.
Yes, so click off and subscribe. We'd love to have you on board.